Hello and welcome to Rupee Rakshak's weekly market update. I have with me our experts Mohan and Sumant. So let's start with understanding how did the market move this week. So Sumant, you have been last 2-3 weeks you have been maintaining that 22,000 can be a very strong support.
Yes.
And on Tuesday we exactly saw market bouncing back from there, and last 3 days we have seen it in green. What do we figure out from this? Is the market going up from here, or is this just a temporary phase?
Yeah, so after 3 weeks of continuous brutal sell-off, we are seeing some relief rally this week.
Yeah.
This week, the Nifty has been up almost 1.93%, which is close to 2%. And if we see the other indices like Bank Nifty is least performing asset in this week, so it has almost like broke even. There's nothing much in Bank Nifty.
Yeah.
If we look at mid cap Nifty, it is recovered around 2.73% as of today. We are in the live market now. And if you look at small cap has reversed around 5.49%, 5.5%
Right.
almost. So we are seeing some relief rally after 3 weeks of sell-off. And as we have been talking about 22,000 level, so looks like exactly to be precise, from 21,964 was the low made in last Tuesday, and from there we are seeing around 2% upside rally. So let's see, because market is almost 15-16% that has corrected from all-time high, and looks like the macros are also improving, and though it has been a very slow and painful corrections for everyone, which probably the retail investors were not ready for, because we have seen this kind of correction in the past, but that happened in a very quick succession. But this time it was very slow and painful. But still, I think the retailers were very resilient this time, because I think a lot of awareness have come up and people have learned about how market performs. So still we see that a lot of investors still not panicking, and they're holding it with patience. And of late, as we touched 22,000 level, we saw some macros which are improving. Of course, the authorities are taking good actions, like RBI has infused, I think they are taking actions to infuse a good amount of liquidity, and they have been doing trying to stimulate the market time to time, and I think 1 lakh crore of I think infused with open market operations.
But 1.87 lakh crore is
and
the liquidity
another
infused.
87,000 crore of forex buy sell swap. I think that is what being planned, I think in the early March next week.
Right.
So that is a good sign. And dollar, that was the main concern for us. I think we have seen a good correction. So good sell-off happened in dollar as well. Right now I think it is trading below 104 from a 111 of all-time high. So that's also very good, and the crude prices are down. I think it is the $68 per barrel. That is the least since 2023. So I think for a country like India, who imports, who is a major importer of oil, I think that would be a very good thing for India. That's a strong point. So giving all these macros, I think we are at in a good stage where we can. I mean, the market is set to form a good base, and from here I feel the top AMCs and HNIs will start buying. In fact, Quant Mutual Fund, which is one of the largest fund house, they officially announced that the time is ripe for buying the mid cap and small cap, because a lot of good fundamental mid cap, small cap has corrected almost by 50-60%. So they are at dirt cheap valuation. So I think we are set for a good base formation, and from here on, I think once we cross probably 23,800, 24,000 level, we should be confident that we'll be again heading towards all-time high.
Sumant, you talked about the dollar index, 104 or from 111. In fact, the forex experts, the view is that dollar is likely to fall much more in the days to come, with a lot of activity happening around Japan and China devaluing it, and there is an alternative currency with BRICS and a lot of things happening with the tariff wars. And it is expected that in the 2 to 3 years, the dollar would fall substantially, and which is going to actually influence the stock market. So there could be some good news for Indian investors, because there is a clear shift in terms of dollar index falling, and there is a trend which experts believe that dollar is further going to fall, and for which reason FIIs could come back, and if they indeed come back, that is when we start seeing a lot of activity, and retailers also can rejoice. What do you think, Bijesh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Just all waiting for that. Mohan, a lot happened this week in terms of in the financial market, especially globally if you look at it. Can you brief and analyze the top or key updates that we should be aware of?
In fact, as a lot of people are aware, of course, Sumant, you would agree with me, the only buzzword that is there today is all about tariffs, the trade wars. So the real wars have gone off, but the wars are happening in terms of pricing and the imports, exports. So the trade war is the base buzzword. So if we look at the tariff news, the latest from Trump, the US markets grow tired of this tariff changes, and if you see, the US stocks tumbled on Thursday, and on tariff flip-flop fatigue, and the S&P 500 fell 1.78%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost close to 0.99%. And on this, there is a joke, floating around in the social media, particularly in the WhatsApp, which has caught my attention. And the joke is that Monday, it says, Monday, roll back tariffs. Tuesday, reinstate tariffs. Wednesday, roll back tariffs. Thursday, reinstate tariffs. Friday, roll back tariffs. Saturday, golf. Sunday, golf. I don't know what happens Monday day after tomorrow. So the flip-flop that is happening is the real news. In fact, if I have to talk about the Trump tariffs, the latest news is that the US pauses the tariffs on some Canadian Mexican imports until April 2nd. So in the interview we saw yesterday, Trump talking about April 1st, I don't want to make this as a tariff imposition, the beginning of the tariffs, because people would consider Sumanji, April 1st is the Fool's Day, and I don't want to be, I'm very superstitious is what US President said, and he's going to say that it will be imposed. And right now it was already imposed, and he removed it, and he said now we'll make it functional from 2nd of April. And other news is that Trump is also poised to enact reciprocal tariffs from April 2nd onwards, especially in the foreign nations that have import taxes on US goods. So for which, when I say foreign nations, we are also included, the India is included in that, and it is going to have an impact. What do you think, Sumant?
Yeah, of course, especially I think India right now imposes around 100% tariffs on auto. So I think they are also going to implement a reciprocal tariff. So, and also the Tesla coming in, I think that might impact, there could be a short-term impact on our auto industries. So yes, but what happens is whenever the other countries, they counter with a greater tariff, he seems to roll back for a month, and then again he comes back with another tariff the following month. So yeah, I think it's creating a lot of volatility in the market, but I don't know what is he really going to achieve, even though he says that this tariff will make America strong again.
Also, Sumant, what I feel is, anyway, April 2nd is still another 15-20 days to go. Again, he might flip, roll back.
Exactly.
So let us see till the last minute what Trump is finally going to do. Maybe that's the stand of the external affairs and the central government leadership. And also Thursday, tariffs exception excluded those imposed on China. In fact, the country is, the China is standing stiff in terms of saying it's prepared to fight any type of war with the US, and the stand that China is taking, it looks like they're very formidable, and they know how they're going to face this trade war situation.
Right.
What do you
And
think?
it will be, I mean, it sounds easy that okay, things will be good for America, but I think it will be, costing dear to the American citizens' pocket because things will be expensive, even if they try to manufacture, because the labor cost is very high. I mean, one of the highest in across the globe, and they can't compete in terms of pricing when it comes to the product pricing with China and other manufacturing countries like India or China or Taiwan. So I think that will cost dear to them. So it won't go easy on American citizens' pocket.
And as you speak, Prasumant, I was thinking about, this is my personal opinion, that if you actually talk about India charging 100% additional tariffs or all the exports or the imports from the US, it is also because of the difference in the currency.
Yeah.
So you look at the kind of effect that it has, and because the US currency, the dominant currency it has been in the world, for the developing countries to actually compete with the price and to be able to be profitable, it's very difficult.
Right.
Because you sit as a USD and you can print any amount of money. If you see, especially in every crisis, US is never under crisis because it is their currency and they can print anytime and solve any problem.
In fact, during the COVID, that's what they did, right? They printed money and they circulated.
So, being a world dominant currency, and if you say I am, it is unfair for all other countries to charge me tariffs, and where I do not have my own manufacturing capacity,
Right.
and I don't think that's the right thing to do, and it is going to also have an effect on what is the fair value. So, what is bought in India for 100 rupees is not the fair value in what you buy in US.
Exactly.
And the latest news is that US government is buying crypto assets. When I mean to say, it is the government treasury which is buying the crypto assets. And the news is that US President Donald Trump has named 5 cryptocurrencies that he wants to be part of a new strategic reserve. In other words, the crypto holdings owned by the US government. And these 3, I mean, the 5 cryptocurrencies are the XRP, SOL and ADA currencies, including Bitcoin and Ether. In fact, Bitcoin and Ether was not part of it, and he initially announced only the 3 currencies, and later there was a pressure from the market and he was forced to bring in the top 2 crypto assets also.
Right.
Now, we have different opinion when it comes to crypto assets. We all know that we don't really like this as an asset class, because there is no backing, there is nothing behind.
There is
this
no
is
physical asset behind these currencies. It's all digital currency. So this can be manipulated by the powerful, people or the stakeholders. Why? Because though I mean it can be an exciting news for the crypto enthusiast, but I personally, it's my personal opinion, I'm still pretty pessimistic about crypto because I still don't go for it unless it is there is a well established regulations across the globe, and it is well accepted by our government.
So we as a fund house, as a research house, we never believed in crypto, and we are never going to believe in crypto as an asset class. And I only wish God protect the American citizens in the next 2-3 decades. It's going to be really tough if you fall back into such kind of assets where there is no backing and anybody can manipulate these numbers, and the new technological advancement can actually bring down the overall valuations and everything of your treasury assets. That's a very, very dangerous thing. Anyway, we'll leave it at that, and because we don't control anything, we just have to see the way how the world moves, and we need to protect our money. That's end of the day very important. And if anybody is playing around on the crypto assets, you have to be careful, and this is not something for people to play around, and this prices can vary drastically, and we advise people not to get into this crypto assets.
Mohan, in this era of too much information, how do we cut the noise and focus on what matters?
Very, very wonderful question what you have asked, Vijesh, especially today's world, because you have everywhere news is just flowing. Now, something happens within 1 minute. Let's say there is an earthquake or there is any incident that happens. Within 2 minutes, people make live videos and it's available on Twitter. And like this, in every second, if you are getting news, what do you do? Especially for people with large money in the markets, and markets are changing, no doubt. At least 5 days a week, the prices are changing. But the prices are changing is one thing, but there are news, because you will get worried if I have 2-3 crore kind of money in mutual funds or stocks or in risky assets, where the news comes and I see that okay, market has fallen, and for this reason it's going to fall. Whether it is going to fall further, I get worried what to believe, what not to believe. But what will happen to the investor? Where to focus? Because if you are on Twitter, and how many news sources can you follow? So practically talking about in today, this is a biggest problem. Now, how can we address that? In fact, that is what we have done in our education initiative from Fingyan Academy Private Limited. That is another company that we have floated exclusively for financial education. And in that we have the concept of 3 quotients. Just like you have intelligence quotient, we have found 3 quotients, and one important quotient that we talk about is money quotient. So the money quotient is money education. So you improve your ability, how prudently you can manage money. That requires amount of understanding, both by investing, also watching the markets as to what is happening in the industry, how my money is growing, whether it will grow, what confidence with which I can invest in the market. So for which, what we have done is we have created this 3Q portal. Okay. In this 3Q portal, people can go into this portal name, that is user.mohankrishnarao.com, and in this you will see there are forums. You just have to put in your mobile number and OTP. You get into these forums. In the chat, there is a section called chat, and there are links that are shared in the feeds. So you just go and look into the forums, and we have created, very importantly, the first thing I talk about, the traders forum. Today, a lot of people are interested. We see the number of demat accounts that are opened in the last 3 years has more than doubled. Yeah. And people have in general interest that I want to learn, I want to grow my money, especially the youngsters. Now, if you have too much of news, and just not just news, you don't know how to read that news also. So because you are always taking positions and exiting, buying, selling, when you are doing that, you will miss the big picture. As if you are a trader, and if you are not a trader also, if you want to become a trader, the first important thing that is required is you should learn what is trading. Like if you want to become a doctor, you need to first do your MBBS, or if you want to be a surgeon, only then you will be able to do the surgery. But here, what people will do is they will read few things here and there. They'll watch the ad for a demat account, and they'll open a demat account. It will say one short 18-year-old boy, and in the ad he will say, "See, daddy, I am also trading," and he thinks that I can also trade, and he opens and he loses money. He does trades without knowing what trading is. It takes a lot of time and effort, and first you need to learn. After learning only you can take the knife, and after becoming a surgeon, then you can, what do you say, sir? You have been, Sumanji?
No, absolutely not. Of course, I mean, it's not easy to make money out of trading. It's a very problem, one of the toughest professions. Yeah. And one should definitely invest time in learning and understanding how it is to be done, because it's not only about money, it's about psychology, whether people can, not everybody can see losses on screen. So, and when you see sudden big losses, your psychology changes, and you tend to do mistakes and often book losses. So I think controlling your emotions and understanding the market structure, so it's very important before somebody gets into real trading.
So what we have done for such people who are interested in becoming traders, I'm not saying that you come to the forum and start trading. If you are trading every day also. So in the trader forum, Vijesh, what we are trying to do is we will be covering a specific subject for a specific month. Like let's say for the month of April, we'll only try and give you all information to learn about price action. Next month, let's say you want to master how to read the charts, how to learn the trends, how to pick the opportunities, and when do you know the reversal will happen. So that could be entire month's learning. So like that we are looking to have this subject for the next 12 months, so people can find some real value in learning stuff. And then trading you should not do unless you have mastered the learning. Like you complete your MBBS, then you can start looking at seeing the patient. So you don't do it without knowing the art and science of mastering the skill of trading. So that is what we'll teach in Traders Forum for free. And the beauty is this is also available in Kannada. The whole idea for us is that we want, under this Fingyan Academy, the whole motto is that we want to make sure India, everybody becomes knowledgeable in terms of money and they build their wealth. And for which our Indian stock market has to become bigger than the US stock market if we have to become richer than US. So it is important that all the people, whether they live in city, whether they live in a tier 2 city or a small town, they have interest, but nobody is teaching them. And it's not that everyone can follow in English. So we have this forum for Kannada, and we are reaching out to all the 30 districts in Karnataka, so that even the people in the smaller villages and the towns also can learn, post their questions and ask their doubts as to the theory part of it, like how to manage the losses, how to manage the risk. And there is no fee at all, and this is an education, and we believe the education should be free. So also for people who are investors, because not everybody can be a trader, but everyone should be an investor. Not can be, should be an investor, because without investing your savings and the surplus amount, what you earn month on month, you will never be able to accumulate wealth. The only way to accumulate wealth is by investing and getting higher returns. So everyone has to be an investor. For you to become an investor today, there are so many products available, and we don't have. Always the investment schemes are sold. It is never bought. Someone comes with saying that this will become so much invest, then people will invest. Instead, just like how you buy a mobile phone, by doing all the research, what suits, what is my requirement by budget, same way you should be able to invest and grow your money, for which we have this investor forum. Again, it's also available in Kannada. Daily posts will be there in terms of understanding what is working and what is the use. And these are for normal people, for general public, anybody can come in. Totally it is free of cost, that you don't have to pay any money for this, and just log in with your mobile number and OTP, and you get access to join this forum link and follow this forum regularly. And for those people who have bigger money, like we call them as high net worth individuals. So for high net worth individuals, we have something called HNI Investors Forum, and this HNI Forum, paid forum with about 49 rupees for 90 days of access, and all the information regarding what a high value investor should know. All the forum is focused on kind of updating the information in terms of how do you manage large portfolios, and for such things we will have this in MQ education under Fingyan Academy. And also for NRIs, there is an exclusive forum for NRIs, the non-resident Indians, the Indians who have many complications, and they have not been in touch with what's happening in India. Let's say if you are someone living in Dubai, if you are someone living in UK, you are there in Singapore, and you don't have confidence to invest in India. You only put money in either real estate or in FD, not because of that you don't want to invest in the stocks or mutual funds, just that you don't know what is happening on a day-to-day basis, for which we have created this investor forum for NRIs exclusively. And again, this is for a very small nominal fee of 49 rupees where they can join this and get to know what's happening in India. We also talk about the global assets for them in terms of where they can invest in dollar currency, and what are the simple ways to invest with ETFs and various ETFs in index ETFs, also on commodity ETFs, currency ETFs, and there are plenty of opportunity. So all this knowledge comes in this NRI Investor Forum for a very nominal fee. So these forums are available. There are also a lot of webinars which is conducted for educating people, and there is also there are courses. There are free courses under MQ Education, and there are also paid courses. And if you are an HNI, you must join HNI Forum, and if you are an NRI, you should not miss joining the NRI Investors Forum. In fact, yesterday we had a webinar on navigating tax rules, IT notices, and also how to plan wealth succession. So there are complicated stuffs happening today with increasing technology. You cannot hide any of your transactions from the authorities, whether it is India or any other country that you are in. So automatically there is that AIS tax form that comes in. In fact, even many a time we were discussing in yesterday's webinar that people actually buy lot of stuff in the cash, especially in the airport itself they will buy and they will bring. And when they buy, they are supposed to scan their passport. And if you have bought 5 lakh rupees worth of stuffs, let's say from Dubai, and in your total what you call duty free kind of things are there, so you go and buy, you have 2 lakhs cash and dirhams whatever, and you use the cash and you bought it, and then you scanned your passport, and that 2 lakhs you will get an IT notice. You will not know how these people come to know. But you would have forgotten that the very billing, he would have scanned your passport. The moment he scans the passport captures this information and it comes into your transaction that where please pay taxes for this 2 lakh rupees. They are not going to ask you anything, but they are going to ask you to pay taxes. So there are a lot of such stuffs happening with technological changes, and NRIs particularly, or even those high net worth individuals who will keep traveling other countries, there are also invest in other countries, they have to know lot of these stuffs, and we cover these information in our NRI forums and HNI forums. So please do make use of this in terms of by joining to these forums.
So do check out these forums and do subscribe also. I think it's a great platform to understand and remain focused as an investor. So that's it for today. We'll be back next week with more analysis and more news. Till then, take good care of yourself and happy investing.